The 28th of July 2013 was driving north on I-65 at about 10:30 am south of Seymour and observed a white pill-shaped object up and to the left in my front window. It was going west and it turned, reflected, turned again and reflected. Then it started going from west to east and picking up speed. I looked down to note the time and looked back up and it was gone. I looked everywhere in the sky and saw nothing. There were no clouds in the sky. I've never seen anything do that before. I drive the route every Saturday and every other Sunday. I'm also prior military and seen nothing like that.
The 21st of September 2013, 8:07 p.m. Freetown, Indiana was looking for the dog. Opened the door to see if she was outside. Saw this bright glowing orb as soon as I stepped out. It was moving side to side slightly like it may have wobbled. I called my wife to see it. They got in the car and drove to the barn to get a closer look. While I was on the way to the barn, trees and a building blocked my view. When I got to the barn, the object had moved about a half-mile west. I returned to the house, and it was back in the place it began. I then told my wife to watch it while I went back to the barn. By then it had moved back to the west about a half-mile, then it vanished. When I got back, I asked her how it moved. She said it looked like it had just got lower. I tried to take a picture, but the camera wouldn't focus on it. I think it was too bright.
The 1st of June 1998 p.m. Seymour, Indiana. Before my teenager years, my stepsister, stepmom and stepsister's cousin all seen this. Any long-term effects? Well, I see clearly the correlations between placebo effects, miracle healings, healing meditation, healing hypnosis and prayer. For example, have you ever prayed for stuff, and you still haven't got that new car? What if I told you that the mechanics of prayer work like programming a computer? Try praying for your own self-healing and longevity and watch yourself change. Pass this down your bloodline and someday mankind will live hundreds of years genetically. Phone number removed.
The 15th of February 1975, 3:30 a.m. Bologna, Indiana. I started sleeping in a small bed that was located at the foot of my mom's bed because I fell off the top bunk in me and my brother's bedroom. I was scared to get back up there. Well, one night sleeping in mom's bedroom, I went to sleep and woke up floating at the head of her bed. My back to her bedroom window. My vision was fixed on the brown panel wall across the room to the right of where I was sleeping. The bathroom is to the right of me, and the light is on. That is how I am seeing the panel wall with the reflection of light pouring out the door. I floated and stared at that panel wall what felt like years. I was in like a daze or like coming out of anesthesia feeling. I can see the bookshelf, mom's dresser, makeup kit, bed, perfect in the shadows on how it would look at my angle and lighting. I didn't have any of my other senses, it felt like. Just vision and memory. It felt like time wasn't there or slowed way down. I watch as my brother walks from our bedroom to the bathroom. Then it got dark forever. Then the lighting was back, and I watch him walk back to our bedroom. I tried yelling but couldn't. I continued floating and staring at that panel wall until I was being pulled back to where I was sleeping. My vision turns and I can see the hallway going to the kitchen. The bathroom light pouring out the door, lighting up the linen closet across from it. Then my vision turns to the hallway going into the living room close to where I am sleeping. That's where I see it ducted back in the darkness of the hallway. The way the bathroom light ran along the panel wall and dipped into the hallway. I could see a little past its right shoulder. It was maybe 3.5 feet tall. It was pale gray in color with a big bald head. It had a big brow, or the top of its sockets was big and proluded a little off its head. It had little to no ears and a small nose. It had skinny arms. Frail looking thing. I got really scared because I thought it was a vampire. I woke up that morning thinking it was just a dream. It happened again not long after that episode. I was staying at my dad's 30 miles away. I slept on the couch in the living room. Well, one night I wake up floating across the living room staring eye level at this light green phone I usually looked up at on the wall. Like the first episode, one stared in a daze-like feeling. I stared at it what felt like forever. Like time wasn't there, or slowed way down. Dad had a pole light outside that poured a hazy lighting in the kitchen and part of the living room. I am finally being pulled through the rear entrance of the kitchen. I see the Hutch china cabinet, the kitchen table and table settings perfect at my angle floating and the shadows of lighting. I am being pulled to the front entrance of the kitchen. I see the refrigerator, the magnet stuck to its sink and strainer. I am being pulled through the front entrance of the kitchen back to the living room. I see the Hot Wheels I was playing with along with the Pringles can on the coffee table beside the couch where I was sleeping. My vision went to the darkness of the closed-in front porch. I get really scared because I don't see it but feel it. It felt like a vampire. I went back to where I was sleeping on the couch. I felt this thing come up from behind me, but I couldn't turn around. It was like I was paralyzed. I woke up thinking it was only a dream. It wasn't until 2005 that I realized it was more. I watched something on alien abductions or out-of-body experiences, and I remembered those two events. Well, I told my mom, kind of laughing, that I might have been abducted or had an OB. I told her both of those episodes that happened to me. She looked at me and said that's crazy because one night she had a dream she was floating up in the linen closet. It gave me cold chills because that's less than 15 feet from where I was floating. Where I see that pale gray being. 3 episodes in 40,000 nights, 2 within 15 feet apart. What's the odds?
The 25th of July 2017, 10 p.m. Seymour, Indiana. I at my brother's house, noticed lights, 1,000s of the same craft, creating an orb and disappearing and moving without it moving. I chased it for 4 miles on foot, getting pictures the entire way. Amazing! We are not alone. They even appeared to block the camera from zooming in on video and changing shapes, color and size.
The 21st of June 2012, 12 a.m. For a few seconds a man hovered in air over water, East Fork of White River next to longest covered bridge in U.S., Medora, Indiana. I and a 14-year-old boy were walking through flooded river to try and get to covered bridge. When he appeared, it lasted only seconds. The boy did not see anything. The man clothing appeared ancient. He was wearing a white robe with a red robe over the white one, long sleeves, which defied gravity by not falling down. He was barefoot. His hands were posed. One was up, one was down, as were his feet. One leg was raised, and one wasn't. His fingers were posed as well. I could see his white robe bleeding through the red robe. Like it was a large knit. His face looked not unlike you-know-who. Brown skin, long black or decayed brown hair, some facial hair. 1 second, he was there. 1 second, he was gone. I consider myself a sensitive, having seen and felt many paranormal events. I am reporting it here, hoping to at least preserve what I saw, and no one else seems interested. I tried to research online to see if paranormal activity was reported near bridge, as often as case, but came up empty. Although in general area you can find all kind of paranormal activity. In this area of weird Indiana are all types of strange stories. Such as, Blue Lady in Haunted Story Indiana, Bigfoot TV show in same area, legends of big black cats, 2-headed rattlesnakes just discovered in same area, Nazi secret aircraft at Freeman Air Base during World War II, Indiana Stonehenge on top of Brown Mountain, mill race monster sighting of 1974 in Columbus, Indiana, and many more. I was at time of sighting I was 55. I hope to report in case someone else sees something unusual there and so it doesn't get lost to history. Hopefully it will get logged in your database forever and not lost to time. Please keep me anonymous, as you can imagine how this story goes over.